because when you are sitting for meditation, you do want your hips, you want your knees to fall lower than your hips, okay? And when you're looking energetically at the body in yoga philosophy, especially yoga anatomy, the energy systems start at the pelvis and run all the way through the spine and through the crown of the head. So we want this to be fluid, we want it to be straight, we want it to be open. We don't want to be in this position sort of like this, right? Because then now I'm really closed off and tight, and I'm not going to be able to increase that flow of energy, which is the whole point when you meditate. And one of the points is to really get your breath to connect to all these parts of your body. So today, in this very, very basic beginner class, I'm going to teach a form of breathing called Ujjayi breath, okay? So this is called, it's a pranayama. Yeah, okay, so if you can't sit in a cross-legged position, you can sit exactly like you're sitting. Thank you for pointing that out, Tammy, because absolutely I should have even done that in the first place.
It's okay.
Yeah, my bad. If it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, you can absolutely sit like that. You can even sit like this. Also, feel free to go sit up against the wall. Like you can go and sit up against the wall. You can sit up on your block. A lot of my friends, my yoga friends that are runners and marathon runners and cyclists that have really, really tight hips, they can't even sit like this. It's like impossible. So they really have to sit up. See, now I sit on this block and look at how nice that is too, right? It's even more open. So however you want to sit, that makes you feel comfortable so your spine can be straight. Cool? All right, so before we begin, there are so many different types of pranayama, yogic breathing. The one we're going to learn today is called Ujjayi breath, okay? Ujjayi, has anyone done Ujjayi breathing? A long time ago. So Ujjayi breathing is the breath that you use in most yoga practices. It's inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, okay? But it's not a breath where you're just kind of like, and that's kind of, like sniffing up and down. Because if you try doing that, go ahead, just breathe through your nose, especially in Austin where everyone's got allergies, right? It feels constricted and tight, and it's just like, well, I don't even feel like I'm getting a breath if I do it that way, right? So the idea is that when you breathe through your nose, you imagine as if you're breathing through your throat. So even though your lips are sealed, your mouth is relaxed, as you're inhaling, it's as if you're sipping the air in slowly through the nostrils, but it's your throat that's pulling the air down, okay? So that's how you get to sort of elongate that breath. Can you guys feel that? Like just by going, like just closing off your throat a little bit. It feels a little bit like a snoring sensation. You feel like a little kind of thing, you know? I don't mean to like make that noise, but you know what I mean? It's like a little tickle in your throat. But you're able then to draw the breath in deeper into your diaphragm and allow it to give you some time, which is like the beautiful thing in meditation is you're using your breath to create space and hold time and focus your attention and awareness, right? So this is this beautiful relationship between you and your breath, and there's so many different ways to do this. We're going to use a really simple count of 5, okay? And I'm going to ask you to inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. So as you inhale, you'll inhale through your nose. You'll use the back of the throat, the energy in your throat to do that. And as you exhale, you'll do the same thing. You'll exhale through the nose. But again, it's not really your nose, it's your throat, okay? So just let everything go. Relax your face, relax your jaw, and you can even close your eyes. Sometimes that helps. And then inhale through your nose for 4. Ooh, I like 4 better today, I guess. 3, 2, 1. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Inhale for 4, 3 through the nose, 1. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Using your throat. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, deeper, slower. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then relax for a second. All right, so now the next layer to that breath is the sound, okay? Because there's an audible quality to Ujjayi breathing. First, you just learn to pull the breath in and exhale that way. The second part of it is hearing the breath, and that is what grabs your focus and attention. So if you're in a hatha or a vinyasa flow class or any kind of flow class, anywhere, you take anywhere, and the teacher's saying breathe, 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 this is probably how they want you to breathe. They want you to breathe this way. And you are, every time you can hear your own breath, what it does is it just pulls you right in to where you are. And that's the quality, that's the point of this breath, is that you can hear it and you listen to it while you're taking the breath in and out, and therefore you're meditating in that moment. And yeah, you can sit any way you're comfortable, by the way. So if you're not comfortable cross-legged, totally any way, okay? You can even kneel or whatever.
And you just switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up however you want. Okay. So I want you to listen, because you should be able to hear me breathe. All right, ready? Well, maybe not, because I'm kind of far away. But here it is. I'll go a little closer. Can you hear it? So there's a hissing sound, kind of like an oceanic quality to the breath, and it's audible. You should be able to hear your neighbor breathe and yourself breathe, but you are just focusing on the sound that you're creating when you're doing that, okay? So let's practice that again. So, and this is that, like literally, if you go to a really, really focused yoga class, you know, like a real old school, like deep in the heart somewhere, right? And you'll hear the entire class just this sound going on and on. And most of the time they don't even have music playing, because all of the point is just to listen to the breath. It's like, that's it, right? So here it is. Just relax. And then I want you to try to, and it's a, you're almost restricting or contracting your throat a little bit as you inhale and then exhaling out. A great tip for this is inhale as if you were saying the word ha, but you're not, your lips are sealed. So as you inhale, think to yourself, ha. And then as you exhale, think to yourself, ha. Can you feel that? Inhale, ha. And exhale, ha. So you're not going to say it, but you can feel it. Here we go. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, oh, I don't hear you guys. 1, louder. That's it. Good job, Paisley. And keep going. Breathing out. Inhaling and exhaling. Focusing on that sound, right? And also maybe even feeling a sensation in your throat. And what happens when you breathe in and out through your nose is that it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural response. It's its natural calming response, right? That's how your body naturally calms itself down. You don't need to take anything or do anything. You just have to breathe. You just have to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And again, listening to this sound. And you might even feel as you're doing this, some heat being generated, right? I feel like it's making me a little warmer as I'm breathing this way. And that is true. Sometimes people call this breath a hot breath or a breath of fire. It absolutely creates some tapas, is what the word is that we use in yoga. That's an internal fire. So it's a hot breath, it creates some heat. And a lot of times we'll say, okay, that's enough, and I'll say as a yoga teacher, exhale out your mouth now, let it go. Because it's too hot, right? So, that's Ujjayi breathing. So let's spend about 4 minutes doing a really super, just sitting comfortable. I'm gonna put some, I'm not even gonna put, actually, I don't want any music. I want you to listen to your breath, but I am gonna set a timer, okay? So, 4 minutes. I'm on the number 4 this week. So 4 minutes breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Eyes closed or however you feel comfortable. You're inhaling, and as you're inhaling, you're listening to the sound the breath makes in the back of your throat. And you're exhaling, and as you're exhaling, you're listening to the sound the breath makes. Inhaling through your nose, your shoulders are relaxed, your arms are heavy, your hips are relaxed. Again, just focus on your breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And each inhalation becomes an opportunity to create space in the body. And each exhalation becomes an opportunity to let go. And you might even experience some softening or some releasing. You might notice a quieting within you, maybe in your mind, maybe in your body. But your main focus is simply to pay attention to the breath, and that is all. Inhaling through your nose, listening to that breath, and exhaling. And I'm just going to walk around and make sure that I'm hearing the breath and that you're doing this right. You just stay wherever you are. Don't worry about it. then let's do just a little stretch since we've been sitting for a second, yeah? So uncross the legs, how'd that feel? Can you kind of see how that like just like brings everything in? So typically when you do meditation or when you're doing a meditation class or a guided meditation, I use this breath if they don't tell me to breathe a different way, because sometimes they want you to breathe a different way, or you know, there's different types of yoga breath. We'll go through a new one actually every single week I'll teach you. But this one is the one that is mostly used, okay? You're gonna go to any yoga class and they'll ask you to breathe in and out through your nose. And now you'll know that's what they mean. That's what they mean by breathe in and out through your nose. It's not just, you know, it really is like, wait a second, now a stretch. Sit back a little bit.
You don't really realize breathing through your nose anymore.
No, totally, exactly. And you don't feel it in your nostrils at all. It bypasses the channels and it's really just your throat. That's the thing that most people get confused about. Go ahead and give yourself a little twist. We're going to actually do a pose here in a second. That's the thing that people don't realize is that when they say breathe in and out through your nose, it takes a little while to teach and explain that, right? So it's like, okay, so you're just breathing through your nose. You're just like, yeah, same thing. And you're not getting any breath that way, right? You're just kind of like, not any breath. Okay. So do maybe one or two more, just go side to side. And then we're going to do some neck and shoulder work, because this stuff, especially if you are, I just think like just now in general, because of, you know, how we lead our lives, there's a lot of looking down on phones and tablets, and most of our work is done, unless you have a more active role or active job, most of our work is done on computers and things. So I like to spend a little time on that, okay? So you're gonna again find that comfortable seat. I'm just gonna grab my poster and sit on that. That's gonna be better. And again, you can sit here like this. You can also do this sitting on a chair, okay? So like you can do this, if you do this video later, just knowing that you can kind of sneak this in at your office or sitting at your desk, you know? So I'm gonna do this cross-legged. And then we'll just start by just grabbing a hold of the knees or holding onto your thighs. So even at school, right, if you just feel like you need a good stretch, so holding onto the thighs or holding onto the knees. And all you're gonna do is lift your chin, keep your hands on your knees as you inhale, and then just kind of lift your heart and start to gaze upward towards the sky. And what you're doing is creating a little bit of traction by holding the knees and moving into a really sweet, very gentle back bend. And then as you exhale, you're gonna just bring your chin to your chest and you're gonna stretch your neck and then just start to round your back. So I'm almost going into like a rounded cat back here as I pull on my knees and press. And so you can resist knees into hands, hands into knees, like this. So it's almost as if you're creating your own little traction device. You guys feel that? Yeah, and then you do the same thing again. You go back again into your back bend. You start to lift your heart and you lead from the center of your chest. So you start to lift your head, your heart goes up. You continue to hold on to your knees because you don't want to get all crunchy up in your neck, right? So you continue to, yeah, beautiful, Tammy, good. And you just lift up the heart, you get really open and bright, and then exhale, chin to your chest, and you press, and you're holding onto the knees as you round through your spine. And we'll just do that 2 more times. Inhale now, it's a little more flow as you lift up, and by the way, you're breathing through your nose. Exhale as you round your spine. Yeah, and you see how you can coordinate it with the movement now, right? Let's do it together. Inhale through your nose as you lift your head, your heart, and you're arching back. You find that little back bend. And then exhale through your nose as you round through the spine. Press and stretch. So good. Oh my gosh. And then come back to center. So again, you can do that seated in a chair, which is really good. then let's give the legs a little break. You're gonna come forward like this with your knees bent. So if you were gonna sit in a chair, the only difference here would be that you would cross your knees over each other like this, okay? But here, all we're gonna do is, like this. You lean back a little bit and bring your fingertips behind you. We're gonna do a little neck stretch. And then just let your knees sway over to one side, doesn't matter which side. And then you're just gonna hold there for a second. You can kind of flex your feet. And then you can turn your head and gaze in the direction that your knees are going for a minute. And just feel like you're gonna get a lot of IT band stretch, maybe some hamstring stretch, maybe some hip stretch here. But then from here, I'm gonna slide off of my bolster a little bit. And you can experiment with a little more sensation if you slide forward off your bolster or block. But again, I don't want you to be in any pain. But if you slide off, you'll have a little more sensation. Yes, you feel that? So both feet flexed, and this is called deer. And then Greg, you're gonna be going the opposite direction. Yeah, you are, because we're all doing this way. So you're gonna then turn your head to the right, and we're all, no, to the right? Yes. Yeah, there you go. You turn it to the right. Keep your knees though, yeah, that's perfect. So now we're all gonna turn our head to the left, but keep our knees to the right. Yeah. And then you just sort of work your own leverage here. You let those knees drop. You turn, you feel the stretch across the front of the neck. You let your head drop. You can even maybe be so brave as to look beyond your shoulder a little bit. It's kind of crazy. You see back there? It's a really, really sweet little twist. And then inhale, breath. Take your head back to center. Awesome. And then exhale, sweep your knees back to center. Good. And then so easy, just switch sides. If you need to give yourself a wrist break at any time, you can. Just kind of turn your hands and wrist break it out, okay? All right, I'm gonna remove this for me. It's a little bit big. But let's go to the other side. So let your knees now flop over to the opposite side. Yeah. Again, just kind of let them be, and you're still just breathing through your nose. So now we know what we're doing, right? We're inhaling through the nose, and we're exhaling through the nose. So the whole practice now can revolve around the Ujjayi breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose. And you see how just by breathing that way, it pulls you into this moment right here, right now. And even though you have an expression, your body is in an expression, right? You're not overwhelmed by it, right? There's no drama around it. You just sort of feel it, you let it be felt. And then if it works for you, turn your head now over to the right. You can look beyond the shoulder. Still maintaining that Ujjayi breath. You guys look so good. In through the nose. Exhale through your nose. And come back to it as soon as you can remember. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more. Maybe look beyond. And exhale. Awesome. And then slowly bring your head back. Good. Bring your knees back. Awesome. And then come back to that cross-legged position. And you can cross the left foot in front of the right foot now. Yep. And then elbows go in to your rib cage. We're just going to do some shoulder work. So as you do this sort of effort here, as you pull your elbows in and down, shoulders down, you're going to feel your posterior muscles engage, right? Your lats engage, your serratus. Yeah, good. You look great, Michelle. Your serratus engages. All of this kind of feels down. So what the goal is here is as you reach your arms up, you continue to feel this effort of your lats, your serratus, and everything pulling your shoulder blades down. So here we go. Start to bring your arms up. You guys got it. Inhale your arms up. up, but there's a pulling down in opposition as your arms reach up. And then exhale through your nose and pull and squeeze. And let's do that 3 more times. Inhale as you reach up, but you're engaged through your core. And then exhale as you pull and squeeze. So now anytime your arms are up over your head, say like in a vinyasa flow class, go ahead and extend your arms up. You know not to elevate your scapulas, right? You're gonna keep the energy down and then bend those elbows in. And this gets us a foundation for poses like Utkatasana, which is Thunderbolt, where your arms are over your head. You're not like this, right? Creating more tension anymore. But you're like, oh, actually, this feels fierce. I feel this in my core. I feel this in my shoulders. Not in your neck, right? Let's do 1 more. And then you get a stretch. Yes. Yeah, it's okay to keep your elbows a little bit bent. Most people cannot straighten their arms all the way here. It's really hard. Yeah. And then here's our last one. Good job, Greg. Looking good. All the way up. Shoulder blades pulling down as your arms go up. Shoulders down, Tammy. Yeah, good. And then we're going to stay right here. You're going to bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your head. Okay. So then from here, I'm going to turn around so that you can see. You're going to give yourself a little massage. Okay. So your hands come behind your head. And you're just going to pull, use your thumbs to massage your occipital. You can even like go and not even blink, and you just start to pull and stretch. And sometimes I even take like the outer edges of my hands and just bring them right underneath my skull. And you can feel that, right? And just this sort of elongating, pulling out of the neck. And then just hold, like capsulize your head here in your hands. And then start to push on your back of your head. Draw your chin towards your chest, and just find that gentle sort of pressure of rolling forward. And you should feel that stretch in your upper trapezius. You guys feel that? Breathe. Here's where, if we're holding this for a few rounds of breath, you can exhale out your mouth at any time, okay? So inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your mouth, just dropping it. And then let's reverse that a little bit. You're going to slowly start to come up, and your head will press back into your hands. And this is the lovely, lovely back bend that we did earlier, but now our hands are behind our head. I want you to imagine like there's a chair right here. This is where that chair comes in handy. The edge of the chair is right here. And you're just bending over the edge of that chair, opening your heart. And then you just go right back to that first pose. Exhale as you stretch and round. And it's almost like you've done this before, huh? And then again, inhale, press back, open it up, and exhale as you press and round. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale as you open it up. Exhale as you press and round. And then last time, inhale, open it up, open, back bend over that chair. And then exhale as you round. And then inhale all the way up. And then watch this. Reach your arms out, 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 and down. And then go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. Okay? So then from here, shake them out a little bit. Take your right hand next to you. You can always sit up, right? If you want. Like I think I want to sit on my block right now. But it'll be nice to have the legs extended. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, side bend over to your right. And so your right elbow is going to bend just a little bit, and your shoulder's going to draw down away from your ears. And Greg, I would walk your hand out even further. Yeah, and then that elbow just bends softly. Yes, and then it's almost as if you're pinning down your left hip. And you should feel this right along the whole side body. You feel that all on the right side of the body, right? Yeah, you guys look good. And then lots of good breath now. Inhale and exhale. Yeah, and just ease. Remember that Ujjayi breath. We're back to it. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Good. One more time. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. And then inhale, using your strength, come all the way up. And then we're just gonna twist over to the left. Use your right hand, just bring it to the outside of your left thigh, and just do an easy twist. You do not have to go any further, but if you want, you can use a little gentle pressure with your hand and just lift up. We've been doing so many lengthening postural poses today, so if you wanted to, you could anchor down through both sitting bones, lengthen through the crown of the head, and just turn and gaze again over that left shoulder. Full breath in. Exhale and twist. Good work. And then come back to center. Nice. Other side. That feels so good, right? Take your left hand next to you. And you know what? If it's too far away, remember, good way to just prop yourself up or find a modification is even bring the block underneath the hand, right? So if it's like, wow, I'm really reaching to the floor, then you just bring your block under your hand. Inhale your right hand up, and then exhale, side bend over to the other side. The idea is that your hip flexors are pretty relaxed as you're doing this. So you're getting all the way down to here as you stretch, almost like a pull out of the pelvis. And then keep that left shoulder pulling down. Yes, and the elbow bending. Good, Tammy. Good, and just visualize that right side of your body. Inhale through your nose and exhale. You guys are doing great. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Through the nose, Ujjayi breathing. Inhale together. Exhale together. One more. Inhale together. Exhale together. Then inhale, come all the way up. And then again, exhale, turn and twist to your right. And again, you can use that left hand by pressing gently into the outside of your right thigh. It's not necessary, but yes, you can use it. You can use a little leverage with beyond your shoulder. You're doing great. So good. One more breath. Little twist, exhale. So good. Good. And then come back to center. Awesome. Okay. And then just relax a little bit. Nice. We're going to do some little bit of back bends. So come onto your belly. And then we're going to do some footwork. And then we're done. Okay. So let's talk about cobra pose. Okay? So cobra pose is a yoga back bend. Bhujangasana is the Sanskrit word for cobra. And this is Sphinx. So what I want to show you is that at any time in a practice, if you're not okay being on your wrist because cobra Cobra asks you to be on your wrists. And if your wrists are sensitive, then coming into Sphinx and being really active in Sphinx, I want you to remember this one. Remember when we did that? That's the effort you want to find here in Sphinx. It's not just like I'm hanging out. In yin, I'm hanging out. But now we're not. We're active. Yeah. Okay? This is an active pose. So you're pressing your hands into the floor. Without moving your hands or your arms, you're pulling your elbows back. So you should feel, again, those postural muscles, your back muscles working here, right? You also press your pelvis down a little bit and lift your belly a little off the floor. So it's not, doesn't have to lift off, but you're pulling it up energetically. It's like you're allergic to the mat, is the kind of feeling that you want to have. And then you're using your legs too. So point your toes, press the tops of your feet down into the floor. Your toenails, it's like you want to make an imprint with your toenails, okay? So this is active. Do you guys feel this? This is a lot of work just being in this the right way. So being in a modified back bend is still a lot of work. I just want you to feel that. Take one more breath here, right? And then exhale, just come all the way down and you get to rest. We're all like babies here. Head rests on the hands and take a breather. And then I'm going to show you Bhujangasana Cobra, which is what you would do on your wrist and what's cued almost every single time in a yoga class. They're not going to cue Sphinx, just so you know. They're always going to say Cobra, Or they'll say Urdhva Dhanurasana, oops, that's not right, Upavishta Konasana, which is upward facing dog. And that's even more intense, okay? So here's what we do when we do our cobra pose. I'm just gonna flip my mat around. Did I say Upavishta Konasana? I meant, you guys are just gonna make fun of me now. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana is actually the correct term. Java, 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 java is the right term. No. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana is the right word for
you say it.
upward facing. I can say anything, right?
Yeah.
You know, but then like some yogi's gonna see it and they're gonna be like, this girl is not what she's talking about. Okay, so here we go. Hands come under the shoulders for Bhujangasana, cobra pose, okay? So first of all, you're active the way you were active in Sphinx. So remember, just because your arms aren't here, they're here now. You've got those little, remember this? Okay, it's the same energy here, right? Same energy here. And then you're just gonna press your feet into the floor, keep this open, press your hands into the floor, and start to peel the front of your body away from the mat. As soon as your shoulders go, meh, you've gone too far, right? So come down a little, Tammy, pull your elbows in. Yes, that's better. And then if you can keep them down, you can straighten your arms a little bit, but don't, and that's okay, that's as far as you need to go. You don't need to go any further. You look great. Yeah, that looks good because you're not all tied up, as long as you're not tied up in your shoulders, okay? That's it. Greg, elbows in. Yes, shoulders down. Yes, that's it, elbows in, Charles. Yes, beautiful, Michelle. Nice, Paisley, that's good. It's effort, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then come down. I know, right?
Well, I'm not even off the floor.
That's okay. You don't need to. And then I'll tell you something else. Go ahead and rest. Let your forehead rest on your hands. Yeah, you don't have to go any further than that. You will, if you do this correctly, if you do it correctly and intentionally, with integrity, you will build the muscular strength to be able to come up. It's only that if you do it wrong, right? If you're doing it incorrectly and you keep doing it incorrectly, you will not get stronger and you will also get injured. Yeah, exactly. So if you're up here like in Cobra and you're like, I'm doing Cobra, like you're only going to, this is all in my neck, all, like we just relaxed on this, right? Oh. I want you just to always remember what we did sitting. That sitting place where the elbows are in and that energy that you felt when you put it, yeah, keep drawing them down. Keep pulling your, yes, keep pulling them down, just like you were sitting. You feel that energy there? That's what you want to go with the whole time. You don't even have to come up. Something you could even do, that's it, Greg, is even hover your hands, test yourself out. Like hover your hands and come up and see what happens when you don't even use your hands. Like, yeah, Paisley, feel that? That's the energy there, yes. And there you go, and elbows in, Charles. Yeah, good. Okay, awesome. Okay, so real quick, we'll try upward facing dog. This is not for everyone, okay? I just want you guys to know. It requires just like a good balance between the upper body and core strength, okay? And also, if you have any wrist issues, you'll want to just skip this because it could make it worse, okay? But if you want to try upward facing dog, your elbows go in. It's very similar to Cobra. Your elbows come in. You have that same pull of the energy back, right? Your toenails imprint. You got to be really super strong with your legs. Your toenails imprint. It's like you're making an impression in your toes, okay? You press with your hands. You lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and then you push your hands into the floor so that your body actually lifts up. And I'm not even in the real, there, that's better. So you want your shoulders over your wrists. You're pressing the floor away. You're still pulling your heart through. Yeah, that's good. And the legs are strong. And then the final little piece is, ooh, can I look up? Right? That's a lot of effort. Yeah. And then slowly come down the way you came. Okay? How are we doing? Child's pose. Go ahead and take your knees open wide. And then just let your back come down, forehead to the floor, and stretch out your lower back for a breath or two. How do you guys feel?
Awesome.
Yeah? Is that helpful? Do you have any questions?
I can't really put my legs like that, so I'll just pretend.
Oh, in child's pose?
Huh?
You can't do this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then just lay on your belly like this. Lay on your belly like this. Yeah, if you can't bend your knees, then just because we're going to come back to a back bend, one more back bend.
I don't know proper child's pose.
You don't know proper child's pose? Well, that was not on my agenda today, but I'm just kidding. But your child's pose is knees open wide, like you're doing, and big toes touching.
Big toes.
Big toes touching. And if the word for child's pose is balasana.
It's much harder than what I was doing.
So yeah, the hips go back towards the heels, the arms are straight out in front. And then a second variation for child's pose, I'll get back to you, Tammy, in a second, because a lot of people can't do child's pose. So a second variation, here's that first variation. Another, there's so many, but if you wanted to, like say you're like, oh my gosh, I just did so much upper body work, and you want to rest, then you actually bring your arms back. And then this is called embryo. And there's a different energy there. You guys feel that? So there's a little more of a kind of a surrender, and it's like you're not working in your upper body anymore. There's a little pressure there between the forehead and the floor, but that's okay. Now, if you cannot do child's pose and the teacher is like child's posing all over the place, right? You're either resting on your belly like you're doing that. It just kind of depends on if you're doing like a vinyasa flow class where there's a lot of child's pose in it, then you don't want to do too many different, too many things. You can just rest on your belly to relax. But if it's like at the end of class, like we are, and I say child's pose and you're like, I can't do that, then a really good modification for that is happy baby. So let's all do happy baby. So you lie on your back, and it's really the same thing, but it's just upside down. Some people call this dead bug too. So you flex your feet, your knees are open wide, and then you just reach up with your hands and see if you can grab your feet. Bend your knees wider and alongside your body.
You have to let go of your inhibitions or your.
Oh, you look good. So here's what I'm going to do, and this is something that you can get for next time, or you can bring with you. It's just like another t-shirt or something, because you don't need to get it. Yoga straps are really good for this reason, so pretend like this is a yoga strap, okay? You go like this, and you grab both sides, and you let your knees open this way and this way. Yeah, just the knees so you go wide, fully, and then you let them bend as much as you can. Yeah, bend as much as you can. And then you pull. Yeah. And so you have a strap to kind of help you with that. How's that feel? Yeah. So you should feel a stretch in your knees and your lower back. And that's a safe, and so that's a safe way. You can't get into a child's pose when you're in class. You're like, no, I'm just going to lay on my back. It's the same thing, basically, right? Okay, cool. Good job, you guys. Okay, so we got our back bends, the correct way to do our back bends. You guys want to go through those back bends one more time, or are you good?
Sure. Yes.
Good? Or yes?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay, let's go one more time. So let's roll all the way up.
So where you're going,
And I want to do one more thing with that too.
where
Actually,
you're
thank you for
going
reminding me.
when you're doing the cobra, like you just let them go. Do
In
you
snakes
act-
like this?
Well, when we're here, when we're going into the cobra, do we just, since you're pushing through the toes,
It's controversial, Michelle. Some people say relax the glutes, and some people say squeeze the glutes.
yeah,
I would have the student or have you try it both ways. If you squeeze the glutes and it limits your range of motion and it feels like you're tightening your lower back,
right,
then I would relax
Gotcha.
and focus more on the front body and your core.
gotcha.
If it doesn't and it feels like it's just helping you or supporting you, then give the glutes a little squeeze. The thing is you don't want them to over because they
Right.
are such a
Do
powerful
the
muscle.
work.
So people that have really, like if they rely on their butt a lot and they have really strong glutes, then they overdo everything with their glutes. And then it's usually like relax your butt, like relaxing. It's a lot of just like let yourself relax.
Push through the toes.
Mm-hmm.
Push through the tail.
It's really the front body that is working a lot more to help release the upper back and the upper body. Okay, so let's play around with this last one, okay? So what happens if your forearms hurt and you're in class and you're spinning and you're like, no, I have tennis elbow. This is awful. I can't do this. And you're like, I'm not doing yoga anymore, right? So the modification for that now is still a back bend. You're just gonna take your arms out of it. You're gonna reach your arms back and you're gonna lift your head, neck, and shoulders. You can do this 2 ways. You feel how much that is? It's a lot of energy there, right? And you still have this going on, by the way. You're reaching more through your fingertips, lengthening through the palm of the hand. Option to lift the legs is the last one. And now it's like a whole new world, right? When you lift the legs up. If your lower back is sensitive, you keep your legs open. If you want more, you can bring them together, another whole new world, right? More effort with the legs together. Yeah, Charles is like, what the heck is going on right now? Oh my gosh, I can't. Come all the way down, relax. You guys feel that? So wrist issues, shoulder issues, forearm, tennis elbow issues, you do Shalabhasana. That pose is called lotus, okay? And it's lovely, right, Andy? It's a lot of effort to do that pose. To add in a bonus to that one too is a bind with the hands. So you can go back, do this one, or if you want an extra shoulder opener, your hands can come back and you can bind and lift. Okay? And that's going to give you an awesome stretch across your shoulders. You're just going to watch. That's what I'm saying though. So it's all of those. Yeah. That feel good? Now, this is what the teacher would do, right? So then she would come over. Well, first of all, yes. Are you guys holding your breath?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and come up now. Inhale. So now I'm giving her some traction in this energy downward, and she's going to go flying up high. But that's the energy of toenails down, feet down. How's that feel?
Great.
Does that feel good? Don't leave.
Don't leave.
Don't leave. You want me to try
That
with you,
feels really
Paisley?
good.
Look at your cute little feet.
It feels really good.
Ready? Okay, try it. You don't have to work as hard because I'm kind of doing it for you. Yeah, it feels good, right?
Yeah, it does.
But it's just like you can do that on your own, right? Right?
No, it really,
Yes.
it's like somebody sitting on your feet while you're doing sit-ups or something.
You just have to keep thinking of this one. You feel that? Yeah, that's down. And so the muscle memory, you feel that? You need to memorize this energy here and here and down.
I call it the bra and bathing suit muscle
Oh, yeah.
because it goes right around our bra or bathing suit.
That's a good, yeah.
Sorry guys,
Yeah. What's it for them?
they're lats. It's your V.
Okay, so one more time through. You guys ready? Let's do all of them, and then we rest, and we're out of here. Okay? So first one, Sphinx. On our forearms, option to stay. Your toes, again, it's always the same sort of cue. Lower back sensitive, bring your legs wider. Okay? Pubic bone down, more core. Lower back sensitive. Okay? More core. Pull it up like you're allergic, right? And then you can work the heart through your upper arm bones like you're already back bending, like you've done this one. Go for that energy, right? Okay? All right, and then slowly come down. And then either you do that again, or let's just try Bhujangasana. Take your hands back. They're like little grasshopper wings. Pull it in, toenails down, pubic bone down, belly lifts. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. You don't have to lift very high. Yeah, good. That energy, shoulders down, Greg. Yes, there you go. See my frown? Shoulders down. One more breath in. And then all the way down. Okay, great. Okay, if you want upward facing dog, here we go. Toenails down, elbows in, hands pressed. They're lower in up dog, by the way. You slide your hands back a little further, okay? So then from here, pubic bone down, head, neck, and shoulders, press your arms straight. Arms are back a little lower if you're doing up dog, Andy. Elbows a little micro bend, Paisley. Little micro bend. Yep, good. Yeah, yes, good, Michelle. Heart lifts, look up, legs strong, breathe in. Good, exhale, child's pose. Or, happy baby.
Happy baby.
You guys are so good. We have to rest now, because we're all done, okay? So lie on your back for the best part of class.
That's really helpful, like breaking it down like that is really helpful.
I know, right?
It's really
I'm so happy
It makes a huge
that
difference.
people are here. Because that's what I love to do. Like, here's how you do it well.
When you did it, started like this, it's
Yeah.
really helpful.
Yeah, foundational. Like, that's just all it is, right? Y'all just, let's lay down all the way. And just massage your lower back a little bit, and we're gonna take a twist. So you can either just keep your feet on the floor and just let your knees rock over to one side, really like what we did before. This is a super easy twist, arms out to the side. Yeah, or you can do any variation of twisting that you like, okay? Wait till we get to downward facing dog. Because that pose is really complicated. It will take me like 30 minutes to teach it right. But after we've done it, hopefully you'll just understand it so much better, and I'll show you all the ways we can modify it. Bring your knees back to center, and then again, switch, go to the other side. Now in a vinyasa flow class, if you ever take like a power yoga or vinyasa flow class, you might do up to 20 cobras in a class like that. So think about that. Like, you get warmed up to it, you keep doing it, and they don't typically last that long. They're usually only done for one breath. Good, and then bring it back to center. Got it, and then just move your pelvis a couple times, do a little tick-tock forward and back. Yeah, and then extend your legs straight out in front of you. Arms to your side, close your eyes. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Let everything go. Relax your feet, your ankles, your knees. Relax your thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly, your back. Relax your shoulders, sides of your neck, your mouth and your tongue. Any tension in your face, around your eyes, forehead, brain. Just let everything go. You've done enough. You've worked hard. Allow yourself just to be and to breathe. Remembering that you're well taken care of. That you have enough. That you are enough. Just letting yourself be. You're no longer focusing so intentionally on the breath. It's just in and out. There's no stress. This moment is just about letting go and resting. start to move your fingertips and your toes. Rotate your ankles and your wrists. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a big exhale out your mouth. Let it go. You can slowly start to bend your knees towards your chest. A little rock from side to side, a little sweet sway. And slowly rock over to one side and just rest there for a moment. And then press yourself up